This town looms up the road fast and captivating. It surprises and enchants you at sight. Even before having a glimpse beyond the chopped rock, you are in the whirl of events. Behind your back stands the wise and majestic past. The frivolous and slightly facetious present potters around you. The future, with its hopes and possible and impossible dreams, beckons from the wilderness of time. The town spreads along the fairy tale awesome river between the past and the future. The yarn beam of destiny twists and turns and weaves the rug carpet of history between the past and the future, intertwining the shadows of forgotten ancestors, of people and events, of memorable dates, outlines the flashes of rise and fall, of brightness and darkness, of times of faith and despair, walls in the spirit of time. Where the great well waters overflow, an aster washes cloth to blinding glow. The Melter fortress, marked in the famous Tabula Peutingeriana simply as a road stopover, is mentioned for the first time under the name of Lovech in the Byzantine chronicler John Skilitza's manuscript. Only Celte took a rest in Lovech. This short note makes fantasy explode with its remoteness through the centuries and its absolute lack of pretense of putting it to record for the first time. Here comes Celte, walking through the well-preserved, even to this day, streets of the fortress perched on the two magnificent terraces of the Hisar Hill. He touches the stone fortress walls winding along the curves of the slope, squinting his eyes at the north gate with its rectangular tower, watching the high water river disappearing in the distance. One millennium later, the site will bear witness to the developing town of Lovech. People will still come and go, some for a brief respite, others to settle here. How could have Celte imagined that, on the line of the horizon where land and sky merge, a state aircraft company would be built and become the symbol of the town as the Balkan plant? No way for Celte to know that the first Bulgarian training aircraft would take off here, that the first Bulgarian bicycle would be made, followed by motorcycles and electric forklift trucks. Then the first motorcar would glide off the conveyor belt, then the 50th, then the last 150th, and then the plant would go silent, bewildered by human stupidity. Could Celte have predicted all this? The yarn beam of destiny twists and turns and weaves the rug carpet of history, skillfully ties knots where the threads are short. Go untie them if you are idle. Where the great well waters overflow, Anasta washes cloth to blinding glow. In 1187, after a 3-month siege, the Byzantine Emperor Isaac Angel II is forced to sign a truce with the brothers Asen and Peter under the ramparts of the Lovech fortress. This is where the foundations of the Second Bulgarian Kingdom are laid, and later the roots of its demise. The Lovech boyar despot Ivan Alexander becomes one of the last Bulgarian kings before our torture-burdened state is overshadowed by the Ottoman domination. Lovech fights for its freedom to the bitter end. Under the guidance of chieftain Stanko Kusam, the fortress continues to resist for years on end, and the town wins the right to certain privileges. The Turks start calling the town Golden Lovech, and the Turkish traveler and historian Evliya Çelebi gives it this description in his travel notes. The houses are beautiful with pine plank walls. There are many intricate stone masonry palaces. From the windows and porches of the houses along River Osen, people throw lines to fish. This stands a prosperous town. How could Evliya Çelebi foresee that 100 years later the Kırgılı would burn the town to cinders and plunder it? And could Evliya Çelebi foresee that the Bulgarian revival period would build from the ashes a new architectural and spiritual jewel, Varosha, with the narrow, winding alleys that would often stop at some stone wall or wooden gate, with the small plots walled in by stone masonry, with the beautiful 2-story residences with their multi-level courtyards, lush with ivy and wild geranium, the air sweet with the fragrance of lilac and roses. How could the venerable Evliya Çelebi presume that after time, right in the blooming town and its surroundings, the Deacon of Freedom, Levski, would muster his strongest network of freedom champions committees against the Sublime Porte, and that he would also be ambushed close by? How could Evliya Çelebi have possibly known that Joseph I would be elected for Metropolitan Bishop of Lovech Diocese, or that he would later become the Exarch of Bulgaria, a forerunner by far in his political thinking with the idea of an exarchical Bulgaria? How was Evliya Çelebi to perceive that the future of Lovech would hold the authorship of a hymn of the spirit unique to the world, march you enlightened people, commensurate only to the firmament. Or that this would be the birthplace of the first Bulgarian cosmonaut who would dare a flight to the stars. Could Evliya have foreseen all this? The yarn beam of destiny twists and turns and weaves the rug carpet of history, stacking thread by thread destinies and events, events and destinies. Where the great well waters overflow, Anasta washes cloth to blinding glow. A man, even having lived a good life, dies, and another is born. Because we are only a link in the chain, a stop on the road, and if we leave this a better world than we came into, it would mean ours had been a meaningful existence. Were these the thoughts of the first mayor of Lovech after the liberation, when he was having his first look for the day at the town from the top porch of his house? Who knows? His up-and-going household is already busy in the kitchen about the round low table, the three-legged stools and the water shelf with the coppers. His good wife has just tidied up the low plank bed sleeping room, housing the whole family for the night, and is stacking the blankets in the fine inbuilt closets, dusts the wood-carved home iconostasis, and tucks in the charcoal pan that will keep warm at night. Through the door of the guest room, the old wall and window seats are seen, along with the new room furniture just imported from Vienna, and the Romanian mirrors, reminders that Europe is coming into the way of life of the affluent Bulgarian. Along the traditional dowry chests in the bride's room, an English bed is waiting, and up there on the shelves, souvenir china plates outline the travels of the Lovech merchant to countries near and far. Mayor Ivan Drasov steps firmly along the big table, shoves the heavy gate, and walks down Market Street. There he would peep in his shop, talk to that craftsman, scold someone, reassure another, and then cross down the covered bridge built by Master Ustakolu Fichito, both to enjoy its beauty and to supervise his business. Then Ivan Drasov would glance at the all-green Stratesh hill, where the remains of the fighters for the freedom of the town had been buried, and repeat to himself that a monument should be put up there by the grateful generation, but he could not know there would be two monuments, the white and the black, and that generations later a memorial complex below them would be added. Then the mayor would go to the Assumption Church for a service, bow his head in front of the magnificent iconostasis, light a candle for the dead and the living, God bless what was done so far, and give us strength to continue into the future. The yarn beam of destiny twists and turns and weaves the rug carpet of history. For better and for worse, the Osen River keeps flowing, mirroring life's diversity with no beginning and no ending. There's the town of Lovech, peacefully stretching between the mountains and the fields, and it is hard to tell if it is just arriving or getting ready to move somewhere. It is so beautiful, it makes your soul ache.